This is Darrell Rideaux with WeAreSC.com, and I have the privilege and the pleasure of introducing you to Adoree Jackson. Going into his sophomore season, coming off of a presidented season where he starred on three sides of the ball last year for the USC Trojans, on offense, special teams, and defense. But it's defense today that I want to focus on. As a former defensive back playing here at USC and also an admirer of yours, I kind of want to talk to you a little bit and understand when people think of Adoree Jackson, what is the one word that would be synonymous with you? Is it competition or is it finishing? Because you seem to do both extremely well.
I would say both competition and finishing, but I think the one word to describe me would just be fun. I just want to be a playmaker out there and be exciting on both sides of the ball. And on defense, so people want to play defense. I know growing up, I didn't want to be a defensive player because I thought the shine was on offense. But as I grew up and got to get used to the game and used to now that defense of being the highest paid players almost, getting the most money. So I want to be that defensive player so people when they come in, they think, I want to be like Adoree Jackson.
Yeah, but when I think of Adoree Jackson, I don't think of you as just a defensive player or an offensive player. I think of you as a playmaker. And making plays sometimes can be very challenging. But when you talk about covering receivers, there's a sense of pride about going up against them and competing at a high level. And you seem to do that extremely well. And you seem to thrive in one-on-one competition. So can you talk to us a little bit about your approach about covering a receiver from the press position?
For me, but going before the game, I watch film with Deion Sanders or Patrick Peterson or Darrell Rideaux or Tyrann Mathieu, just watching them, admiring their games and coming up, like you said, being competitive, seeing what they're doing at the highest level. And so I want to admire and emulate the same things they're doing. So going to the press position, I just want to make sure that when I'm lined up against the receiver.
So if you're the DB right here,
right,
and I'm the receiver, okay,
right,
I'm lined up, I'm the split end, so I'm the X, and you're covering me, all right, and you're looking at a back shoulder fade.
Right.
So talk me through your stance and alignment, because oftentimes the backside result that everybody focuses on, it starts right here with your foot in alignment. So if I'm the receiver, how would you line up and what's your approach?
For me, my approach is if your first leg is up, I'm going to split it between my middle torso so I have a wide base, because I know a lot of receivers, when they come up to the line, they like to split up and try to even you out. So I have a wide base, so regardless of where you go, if you want to go inside or outside, I make sure I'm there. And a lot of receivers, when they come up, they do this move, and if they fake inside, they're going outside. They fake outside, they're going east side. So I make sure when you go and you fake inside and try to make them go outside, and I make sure I just get you with my hand right here and then turn a little bit. Whichever way you go, I'll make sure I turn.
Here?
Yeah, I'm doing this. And I make sure I cut you off this way. And so I run on top, so I expect that if you run a deep ball, I can cut it off, run you out of bounds. Or if you run a back shoulder fade, that I watch your eyes and watch your hands and your shoulders turn. Okay. So when you turn your shoulders, I know to look back, because a receiver's not going to just stop and expect to fade like that. He's expecting to get the ball. So I make sure when he turns his shoulders, I turn my head with it and try to knock the ball down or intercept.
So if we're 15 yards up the field and you're in a dominant position, So you talked about turning your shoulders. Where does that come from? Does that come from your hips, or does that come from turning your head?
For me, it turns from turning your head, being an offensive receiver. When you get out your break, you can't move. You can move your feet, but if your head don't turn, your body won't turn. So when you turn your head, as you see me right now, when I turn my head, my whole body moves. So it goes from me with my head, I look at the receiver, so when I see his shoulder move or him look back, I turn around with myself so we can both be in a position to make a play.
Now, are you playing through the hands or are you playing through the ball? You know what I mean? Because that's where DBs, that's the difference between the interception and pass interference.
Yeah, for me, I'm playing through the ball. Like you said, you don't want to play through the hands as much as you want because they might call a pass interference or anything. But if you're playing through the ball and act like you're going for the ball and not going to the receiver's hands, you won't call a pass interference because they're seeing you trying to attack the ball as well.
Yeah. Now, this season, your role seems to be increased on the offensive side of the ball, but we love to see you on this side of the ball. And now you have an incoming freshman, Iman Big E Marshall. Have you had any discussions with him about what it might be like being opposite of him, and on what side would you be on, left or the right?
For me, I just want to be on the right side for the fact that when you look at the games and who's playing the dominant corner or whoever the best corner is going to be on the right side. For me, that's why I always wanted to play on the right side and go against the best receivers that they put out there. And I talked to him as soon as he signed to USC and told him, you're ready for greatness. You're ready to compete and be with the best. So I want him and me and him to get together with me, him, and Kevon and Chris Hawkins and all the other guys on the team for us to come together as a unit and be like that Legion of Boom that you have in Seattle. So we have the great safeties and we have the DBs. And like we know, USC is known for their safeties. We're going to be known for our cornerbacks as well.
Exactly, and for me as a former corner, I can't have nothing but pride. And when I think about how you compete at such a high level, but there was a couple plays that everybody thinks about that they want to coming into the season if they had a chance to take back. At the corner position, you had such a dominant season. Is there anything left that you want to still prove to yourself?
For me, I mean, I didn't get any interception. So for me, improving on getting my hands on the balls and making those gasping moments into a cheer for the offense and the defense and everybody in the crowd to go insane. And another thing, just be a technician and be a smarter player, because I know I'm probably going to be the most athletic person out there. God has blessed me with those abilities, so I just want to be a smarter technician and a smarter player, so when I'm out on the field, that the game comes way easier for me.
Absolutely. Well, this is Darrell Rideaux with wearesc.com with Adoree Jackson. Looking forward to another promising season and a great career.
Thank you.
Thank you.